Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to day number 4 here of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event in Taiba on the north coast of Brazil. We already crowned our world champions of the Surf-Freestyle yesterday with Paulo Novotny sealing it up in Tarifa and celebrating it out here in Brazil, and Malo Genole winning both the world championship title and at the event. That young man has a very bright future. Now it's time to mix it up as we are going to change over to the Surf-Slalom. What is the Surf-Slalom about? It's basically a slalom course where there is an additional part of a pump track where they will use the waves, where they will use the power and the pumping of their foil. We have about 10 to 11 men heats depending on what category, and then only the top 5 of each heat will go through. And then also we have the ladies together with the South American Championships on both the men and the women. But before we get out into the action on the water, let's have a little look at what happened yesterday, where we had all the action of the finals of the Surf-Freestyle. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day number 3 here in Brazil. Still only one question left unanswered. Will Malo Genole be able to hold on to his nerve now that rank number 1, Goyito Estredo, is out of the competition, make it all the way to the finals, and claim his first world championship title? After 2 action-packed days of competition, the big business for day 3 on the men's side was finding out who would finally take the Surf-Freestyle Championship home. All eyes were on Malo Genole every time he hit the water. He needed to reach the finals to steal the championship lead from Goyito Estredo, who had already exited the competition. Malo made it through a tricky quarterfinal matchup against Clement Rossero. Starting out with a clean frontside 720 and a fully committed wave ride in the final moments. The all-important semi-final matchup was against none other than Tituan Galea. This heat would decide the fate of the championship. Goyito looked on from the beach, hoping that the reigning champion could do him a favor and take Malo out. Malo threw the pressure on his shoulders, connected sections, and letting his foil loose in the wave. Tituan lost his board on the inside in the final moments, and Goyito knew it was all over. Malo Genole took the win, 21.90 to 20.33, thanks to a big front flip and 2 tightly packed wave rides. At 17, the French up-and-comer has now arrived and is the 2022 GWA Wingfoiling Surf-Freestyle World Champion.
I cannot feel better. It's perfect.
On the women's side, Paulo Novotny may have already won the championship, but there was a lot of pride on the line at this end-of-season wave battle. Novotny lost out to current champion Bowen van der Linden in the semis, and the final saw the event's best wave riders compete in the ultimate heat. Flora Asnier had been tipped to win by most of her competitors, but Bowen was first to find her groove.
Sure enough, Flora was once again nailing the higher wave scores. Her laid-back, flowy style has really left its mark on this event. Bowen's wing was badly sliced apart during a big wipeout at the end of the heat. But Flora had already done enough to take her first Surf-Freestyle event win. The men's final finished the day off. Camille Bouillet took the fight to Malo Grenoble, with both riders making big tricks and heart-stopping attempts to land front flips into the waves. Malo led by halfway point, doing what he's done all event. Reading the waves perfectly, he fired off big turns and explosive airs.
I was really not sure to win. I think the hit was pretty close. So, you know, I didn't get excited too early, and then everybody told me that I won, so then I lived the pressure.
I'm so happy to win this event. I went without any expectation here. It's my first time on a surf event, so I just went planning to enjoy as much as I can. And it was so amazing to ride with the girls. The level is really high, and I tried to catch waves until the end. I was like on the washing machine a few times. It was really tough, but it was really amazing.
Fully deserving on their event wins, Malo Grenoble and Flora Asner have been the best performing wave riders throughout.
What a challenging year. It was a lot of hard work, but it has paid off. It's also amazing to compete with so many girls from different backgrounds, doing different disciplines, freestyle, riding in waves, slalom. It's just amazing to stand on the top and hold the world champion title because, yeah, I'm stoked, I'm very happy. Hard work has paid off, and I have many more goals in my life that I want to achieve, and this is one of them.
That's it for the Surf-Freestyle here in Taiba, as we have two new world champions, Paolo Novotna and Malo Grenoble, on top of the world. Tomorrow we're continuing on with the Surf-Slalom, as there's going to be action and speed out on the water.
And welcome back, everybody. There you could see all the action that went down on the Surf-Freestyle yesterday. What an event we have had all the way through this week here in this beautiful location of Taiba in Brazil. Here we are getting ready to rumble. As I can see, that yellow flag is in the sky, meaning that we are going to be starting in less than a minute. So let's go right down to the beach with Liam.
Down here in Taiba on the beach, and the riders have made their way into the water. Let's just talk a little bit about what sort of conditions they'll face today. So wind is very similar to yesterday. I would say good steady sort of 15 knots. Maybe it will build. The forecast I don't think says so, but for slalom racing it's looking really good. Bit of a shore dump today, but like I said, riders now made their way out into the competition area. As for the sort of heat structure, we're going to be starting off with the men. 1 to 6 elimination rounds before heading over to the women. But the judges, have been setting up the course. So Joe, why don't you tell all our viewers how that course is looking?
Thank you, Liam, and good morning to you, mate. As we're going to be continuing on, yes, we are getting ready to rumble out there on the water. So let's get that course diagram up so we can have a little look as we are just about to start. All right, so here we can see our course diagram. So they start up the top right in front of the competition area. Then they come downwind to buoy number 1. Big upwind leg all the way to number 2, where you start to get hit basically where the waves are for round number 3. Then it is the pumping part all the way down to number 4. So they can use the waves, they can use the legs, they can use the pumping. Little bit of a little swerve around number 5 and number 6. And then it is a starboard tack finish right out in front of us. that is what the guys and the girls are going to have to navigate their way through. Let's go right out there onto the water, because starting off in heat number 1, we're going to have Camille Bouillet, Alessandro Tomasi, Gregorio Pugliese, Max Robinson, Xavier Cor, Tom Ube, Sebastiano Zorzi, Paolo Migliorini, Antonio Correa, and Mauro Luis. Let's get our eyes on that start line, everybody, because we are getting ready to go. Closing seconds for that heat number 1. As we can see, just trying to get some information out there, as we are going to be starting off out on the water, as all of the athletes are all the way out there just waiting for some update from our race director. As it looks like heat coming up, we will have Francesco Capuzzo, Julian Bouillet, Ricardo Zorzi, Malo Guenole, Axel Gerard, Clement Hamon, Noé Cuyala, Sergio Pereira, and Victor Habusik from France. That is the heat that is coming up right now. And there we can see it. There is the red flag, meaning that we are going to be going. As there it is, 3 minutes to the start. That is our committee boat. So we will see Francesco Capuzzo, one of the race masters out there. Had a little chat with him and asking him a little bit of some of the gear that he's been using. He is actually said to me that he has a secret weapon that if it was light, which is what I presume he probably is on there, and he was going to go out on a 900 foil. Obviously he's rocking the gold wing from RRD out there on the Beluga. And let me just see, I got my notes here. Francesco, I went out and asked pretty much everybody what they were using. And here we have, yeah, he's on the Beluga 65 liter. He's going to be going out on his 6.5 gold RRD win. And he is out there either on the Blaze 650, which I doubt it as the wind is quite light. If not, he would be on the Blast 900 foil. So yeah, 65 leader board. Francesco, always one of the top athletes. And then also, let's have a little look. Let's not forget Malo Grenole, one our world champion when it comes to the Surf-Freestyle, like we saw there yesterday. And had a little check. He's out there on his 5.0 Nutra from Gong, and he will be on a 600 front wing, a 92 centimeter mast, and also on the Gong board. So yeah, pretty much at the moment it does seem like most of the athletes, from what I talked to them, some of them were going to be going on 500s. In between 500 and 700 is the maximum amount of what the front wing is for all of the riders. And then when it comes to mast, The top riders are out on, for example, the Sab foil. You can see them out on the 103 and that 600 or the 530. And then also we have some of the guys like Mattis Gio, who Mattis Gio is one of the fastest guys we've got out there. He is on a 115 Levitas R5 mast. He's going to be going out on his 515 front wing, and his board is 44 liters with his Ocean Rodeo A-Series Alula, getting ready to rock it. So we will have to see who is going to be continue on. So at the moment, definitely some of the big players in this heat number 2. And there it is, green, go, go, go. So looking like we can see already there, that is Julien Boyer on the RRD front up. We can see also there, Francesco Capuzzo is also pushing on forward. Sergio Pereira a little bit further there in the back. I can see Malo there on the gong. If I'm not mistaken, that is looking like Axel Gerard there in third position, but we will find out very shortly. But yes, Francesco Capuzzo, there you can see him on your screen, is the man out there at the moment. And if I am not mistaken, that is Axel Gerard and Malo Grenoler. I will get more information for you as soon as we have it. Those are the boys already starting to go through in this heat number 2 of the Surf-Slalom here. Day number 4 competition, GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. I'm going to say, I reckon that Francesco is definitely going to be on what he calls his secret weapon. As I said before, out there on a 900, he is on the blast, pumping his way through, always wet, especially in the light winds. We've seen it in Silver Plana, we've seen it in Lanzarote. The RRD equipment is really pushing forward. So I reckon he's going to be on that blast 900 front wing. He's also on the Beluga LTD board, 65 liters. Because you know, Francesco, he is a big boy. He is a big boy. And he already has a considerable lead on most of the field. Let's not forget, we're going to make their way all the way up to the top. And here we can see going past that boy. And then it's time to start to come down. Will they be using the surf in the waves? Will they be using the pumping? We will soon find out. Here we have, all right, Francesco. This is where they have to start to pump. You can see they have to grab that handle in the middle. So they are fully just using the power of the bump. And here Francesco pushing it forwards, needs to make his way all the way to this one. Talk about using your legs. There it is, Francesco Capuzzo. And now he's going to start navigating his way down. So yes, that is confirmed. There we can see with the red handle, that is Axel Gerard. And right next to him there was Julien Boyer. Axel Gerard, this youngster, I mean, this guy has been pushing on the freestyle. It is incredible to see how all of them are really going through. He's out there on his AFS 5.2, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe his 6.2, trying to get a closer shot of that. He is on a 40-liter board, and he's out there on the ASF 500, because obviously he is a lighter guy. Try and get some info from Francesco if he's on his secret weapon, if he is out there on the blaze. But yeah, like I said before, most of the athletes, when it gets windier, we're seeing them on about 500 front wings with the mast in between 90 to 115. And then also when it comes to the boards, lighter riders around 40 liters, the heavier riders in between 50 and 65 in the case of your current heat leader there, Francesco Capuzzo. And yeah, we had a port tack start on this one, and we will have a starboard finish. Always good to get to the start and the finish on different tacks. Makes it as fair as possible. And I can already see, there he is, the man of the moment, Francesco Capuzzo, already making his way up. As there it is, that is the finish. So your winner, Francesco Capuzzo, as I am just trying to get confirmation on the second and the third. But if I'm not mistaken, it was Axel Gerard and Julien Boyer. Just waiting for confirmation on that. The top 5 will be continuing on into semi-final, and obviously the bottom 5 will not. So we will have to wait and see who is going to be making their way through. So obviously the top 5 from heat number 1 and the bottom 5 from heat, and the top 5 from heat number 2 will be going into semi-final number 1, and then continuing on with the heat number 3 coming out on the water. So coming up next, heat number 3 of the Surf-Slalom, Matis Gio, Maxime Chablot, Bastien Escoffet, Alan Fedit, Chucho Nunot, Christopher McDonald, Vinicius Martins, Dudu Mazzucato, the Brazilian maestro, Daniel Cruz, and Manuel Paula. That is your heat number 3. As we get ready, let's have a little camera out there on the committee boat, just so we know when that red flag goes up into the sky, as we continue on with day number 4 here. Beautiful location of Taiba, and there it is. It's going to go green, green, green. So these boys are going very fast out there, all the way on the right-hand side. That is Vinicius Martins. There we can see Matis Gio. He is one of the top surf slalom athletes we have. Just trying to get confirmation to see who that F1 rider is. Let me double check. I reckon that is probably going to be Christopher McDonald. Yes, that would be Christopher McDonald. And here we can see all of them going. Bastien Escoffet as well. But it is Matis Gio out there in front. Second position, waiting confirmation, is Christopher McDonald. In third, Vinicius Martins. In fourth, I can see Bastien Escoffet out there on the Patrick. And they there on the AFS is definitely going to be Alan Fedit, the Rasta Maestro. So let's see, as they're now going to have to make their way all the way up there. Talk to Bastien before we started the heats. Bastien is always a very, very fast athlete. He's out there on the 5.0 Patrick, a 55-litre board. He's also on quite a big master, 105, and he is going on the 554. So he is obviously going to be fast, but is he going to be able to hold it up in that pump section? We are going to have to see. And when it came to that man who is jibing in front of us, and the fastest man out there as well, he is on the R5 Levitas 515 front wing. So we can see him obviously rocking out the A-Series from Ocean Rodale with the Alula. Lighter, stiffer, better, faster, speedier. So Matis Gio, also one of the men that has the possibility of getting the first in the World Championship, even though it is a very slim chance. Because if Matis Gio wins the Surf Slalom, Tituan ends up 8th or worse, and Francesco Capuzzo ends up 7th or worse, he could still have the title. But the man who has all of the possibilities is basically Tituan will be world champion of the Surf Slalom if he wins Taiba or ends up in a better position than Capuzzo or Camille. So there you go, a little bit of the world title race information out there as we continue on. But this man, the Frenchman, Matis Gio, your current leader. And that definitely looks like, yeah, Christopher McDonald, Alan Fedit in third, as they're pumping and making their way down. And it looks like Alan is catching up on the young American, but it is all going to come down to this downwind lane. I tell you what, this starboard side, you can see Matis. I can see him out of the corner of my window. There he is, as he goes for the little zigzag-a-rooney around. There he is, Matis Gio. Already deciding why he is one of the fastest riders out there. Ocean Rodeo Glide A-Series, the Alula, proving the point in these light condition. And with his Levitas kit, is going to be claiming first place here of this heat number 3. And let's keep an eye on, because at the moment in second position is looking like Christopher McDonald. Yep, that is Christopher McDonald. And Alan Fedit coming there in third. Let's not forget, top 5 riders go in to semi-final number 2 of this heat. And waiting for that heat number 4 that will be coming up next. So there it is. Yep, that is Christopher McDonald in second place. Third is going to be, as he's just making his way through to the finish line. Yeah, let's keep eyes on the finish line, guys. Thank you. That is Alan Fedit. And we have a little bit of a battle on here. As there it is, Alan Fedit making his way through. I'm looking at the screen and out of my window. Here is, we could just see going through, that is Bastien Escoffet. And out there on the north, that is going to be Chucho Nunot. And on the duotone, I'm going to have to get confirmation on who that is. So there it is, heat number 3. And now let's go back to the start boat, as we are going to be starting off with heat number 4. So let's go to the start boat, guys. As heat number 4, there you can see yellow flag, 1 minute to go. Two minutes, excuse me, no flag, 1 minute to go. So heat number 4, Tituan Galea, the number 1. As I said, he just needs to finish in front of Francesco Capuzzo and Camille to be world champion of the Surf-Slalom. We also have out there Julien Boyer, Ricardo Zorzi, Mano Guenole, Axel Gerard, Clément Hamon, Noé Cuyala, Sergio Pereira, and Victor Habutskik. So these guys are out on the water as we speak, as we continue on heat number 4. So less than a minute as they're going to be starting. And here they are, I can see him coming through. All right, there it is on the top side. We can see Oscar Leclerc. There in the middle, if I am not mistaken, that looks like Nicolas Spanu. Nicolas Spanu there. But in first is definitely Tituan Galea. There we can see him on the 5.5 Strike version 2 from F1. Had a little talk to Tituan. Let's see what pretty much the best guy, the man to beat, is out on. He is rocking. Let me find my notes here for Tituan Galea. He's out there on the Rocket 42 liters. He has the Skate 550, most probably under his feet, or a new proto of the Skate SK8 530. So a 500 front wing, and he has an 85 centimeter mast, excuse me. So there we can see him already out there in front. As he makes his way up to the top. All right, so there we have. Tituan Galea is already in the lead, as we are just trying to find out as we continue on. Let's see who is up in front. There it is, Tituan Galea. We can see him there on the white helmet. Behind him, that is going to be Hugo Marin, always a very fast racer, and he looks like, yeah, that is going to be Hugo. So here you can see Tituan riding it, and there, Nicola Espanu out there on the clear wing. You can see front and center on your screen, and there, Oscar Leclerc pumping and pushing there, coming from the back out there on the value. And there it is, the image front and center of the guys just making their way before they come to the little bit of the serpentine here. as we can see this inside section. Look at that beautiful view. So there we have Tituan Galea turning in first. Second position, that is, Hugo Marin. And in third, that is going to be Nicolas Espano. And there we can see Oscar Leclerc there, also out there on the Valle. So unless anything changes, but we are going to have a little bit of a battle to get to the finish line as the two F1 riders are going to be pushing each other. But Hugo deciding just to take it easy and cruise, have a little rest and sit down. So there it is, Tituan Galea, Hugo Marin, Nicolas Espano, Oscar Leclerc. That is your top 4 contenders. And just waiting for information to see who is going to be coming around in 5th position. I think it's going to be, if I can see out the corner of my window. Let's go to the 5th position, guys, please. Those guys have already won. And cameraman, let's go to the final battle here, please. So that white spot moving through the center is going to be Clement. And you can see him out there on the new unit D-Lab with the style board, the new style from Fnatic, and I talked to him a little earlier, and he's enjoying his racing. He did a really good performance over here on the Surf-Freestyle. And great to see him also out there on the water. So good heat so far. Just waiting for confirmations on who is going to be the top riders that are going to be making it through to the next rounds as we continue on, because we are going from heat number 1 until heat number 6. All right, so coming up next, Camille Bouyer, Francesco Capuzzo, Gregorio Pugliese, Axel Girard, Tom Hubert, Riccardo Zorzi, Alessandro Tomassi, Julien Bouyer, Sebastiano Zorzi, Noé Cuyala, semi-final number 1. And as there is no flag in the sky, that means only one thing, that the guys are about to rumble as they are coming towards the committee boat. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, we would be having a start. All right, there it is. So it is going. Just getting ready for that green flag to go in the sky. Can't see it quite yet. There it is. Green flag. All right, so let's see who is going to be out there in first position. Number 25 out there on the F1 is going to be Noé Cuyala. I can see Sebastiano Zorzi, the youngsters. Here we can see also with the new Enzis, that's going to be Alessandro Tomassi. So at the moment, Noé Cuyala, Alessandro Tomassi, your top 2. I talked to Tomassi out there. He's actually on his own board, 75 to 80 liters. He's on the Enzis 5.2 Score LE, the new wing from Enzis, and also he is riding a 570. Most probably, he was going to use either the 570 or the 800 Chubanga and a 95 Master. Once again, in between 500 and 700 is what the athletes are using out there with these kind of conditions. Some of the guys taking the risk going for 500-ish, depending on the pumping. And now it looks like it all might start to get mixed up, because we have both of the Bouyer brothers, and I'm just waiting to see if that RRD Gold Series is an orange helmet. If it is Francesco Capuzzo. If not, it will be one of the Bouyer's brothers. Hopefully we'll be able to see. At the moment, looking at it here from the far, looking from afar, we can see that Alessandro Tomasi is definitely in first position. And it is a battle on their RRDs. And I can't see any orange, so I reckon this might be a battle in between the two brothers. But that is looking like a big wing, and Francesco is definitely always on the bigger wing. He would be on the 6.5. Let's see now if when they turn around. So Alessandro Tomasi, first position, confirmed. Second position is going to be Francesco Capuzzo. Third position, blackboard shorts, that is going to be Camille Bouillet. And now we will continue on as we get more confirmation. So there we can see, all right, Francesco deciding going a little bit further down. Alessandro deciding to go a little bit further up. But it does look like Francesco is going to be able to get onto it first. So Francesco Capuzzo first. Second position, looking like Camille just taking the inside there. Alessandro Tomasi third. And if I'm not mistaken, that is going to be Julien Boyer in fourth. Waiting for confirmations on that, but 100% your leader, Francesco Capuzzo. And we've said it time after time again, when the winds are light, the RRD absolutely flies. We saw it in Silver Planner, and we're seeing it one more time here again. So there we can see Camille, white helmet. Yep, so second position Camille, first position Francesco, third position is Alessandro Tomasi. Those are your top three in this elimination. As there it is, going past the finish line, making his way to the grand final. Francesco Capuzzo in first, Camille Bouillet in second, Alessandro Tomasi in third. And I would get confirmation for you on those last three riders. Looking at it from here, I reckon it was Julien Boyer, Tom Aubert, and Sebastiano or Ricardo Zorzi. We will find out as those eliminations are confirmed. Coming up next, semi-final number 2, which will be Matis Gio, Titouan Galea, Christopher McDonald, Hugo Marin, Alain Fedit, Bastien Escoffet, Oscar Leclerc, Chucho Nunot, and Clément Roseo. All right, so semi-final 2 coming our way. Watch out, watch out. As the guys are getting ready, because after semi-final number 2, we will be moving over to the women, then the mini-final of the men, and the final of the men. One more heat to the women, then we go to the South American men and South American women. All right, guys, so let's get our eyes on the committee boat, as it looks like I can see movement in the ocean. Thank you very much. Red flag in the sky. Meaning that a little under 3 minutes to go. Then we will see a yellow flag meaning 2, no flag meaning 1, and green flag, you will know what that means. Go, go, go! As we continue on at day number 1 of the Surf-Slalom here in Taiba on the beautiful north coast of Brazil. If you are just joining us, welcome to the season finale, the final event of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. And what an event it has been so far. We've had perfect, picture-perfect surf freestyle conditions where we've seen both Paolo Novotny, who had already had it locked, signed, sealed, and delivered, become world champion. Floro Asnier taking the event win, though, with some very good surfing and freestyle maneuvers. And then on the men's side, there was only one man. There was only one name out there on the water, and that was Malo Grenole, who took out both the event win and has become the new Surf Freestyle GWA wingfoiling world champion. And he's only 17 years old. Bright future for that young man. Get it back to the action out there on the water. Yellow flag in the sky, meaning that just under 2 minutes to the start, as this is going to be semi-final number 2, elimination number 1 of the men. All right, no flag in the sky, meaning the last minute, so they cannot hang out and just chill around in that triangle. As we continue on with this semi-final number 2, let's see who is going to be making their way through into the grand finale, as our top athletes are already in there. One more time, Matis Gio, Tituan Galea, Christopher McDonald, Ugo Marin, Alan Fedit, Bastien Escoffet, Oscar Leclerc, Chucho Nuno, and Clement Rosselló. Let's not forget, Tituan only has to finish in this event better than Francesco Capuzzo and Camille Bouillet to already take the world championship of the Surf-Slalom home. And then there are a few other scenarios, as we can see. Matis Gio has the slimmest chance, where he will pretty much have to, Tituan will have to end up 8th or worse, and Francesco 7th or worse for him to get the title. But now eyes on the water, as there it is. There we go. All right, on the, we can already see it there. That is, okay, I can see with the X-Ply, that is Bastien Escoffet on the bottom side. We can see Matis Gio. Look at the acceleration he is getting through there on the bottom. Out there on the black helmet, if I'm not mistaken, that is looking like Ugo Marin. And just waiting to see where Tituan starts to appear. He is always force to be reckoned with. So looking like so far is Matis Gio. Just going to go out in front is going to be Bastien Escoffet. In 3rd position, awaiting confirmation if it is Tituan Galea or Ugo Marin. No, it is definitely Ugo Marin, as I can see Tituan. There it is with the dark blue strike V2. As all of them, okay, Tituan and Matis. So Tituan has decided a different strategy. Let's stay with Tituan. There he is. We're going making his way all the way up. He hasn't tacked around yet. Different strategy. He is the last man to make the tack. But you know, it all comes to who gets to that top buoy first. So different strategies. One of the important things in racing is always the strategy out there on the water. And just looking out of our window, because we have front row seats here, I am going to say it, I reckon Matis Gio and Tituan are now going to join. But Matis has already made a little bit more distance on the rest. So looking like a better strategy there for him, because he is going to pass that top buoy. And now he's going to be coming to the pumping side. And I can give you more info looking out of the window. 2nd position is going to be Bastien Escoffet, and 3rd position at the moment for Ugo Marin. 4th is going to be Tituan Galea. Here you can see Matis pumping it forward. Here we have the other 2 riders. So on the right-hand side, rocking the Patrick, Bastien Escoffet. Yeah, and Ugo Marin there. We can see Tituan flowing and floating around as well. But Matis has already gone past that pumping track, speeding across the competition area. Look at the advantage he has out there on the water. as he starts to enter the zigzag just before the finish line here. So your current leader, Matis Gio, who will be winning 2 for 2 of his heats in this first elimination, making his way into the grand finale. And already there you could see Tituan Galea getting the inside line there on Hugo. But Hugo is pushing closely behind him. As we're just waiting for confirmation on those other 2 riders. As if I'm not mistaken, it's looking like it is going to be Bastien Escoffet. And I think Oscar Leclerc. I'm pretty sure, yes, that is going to be Oscar Leclerc making their way through. And we will get confirmation on the rest of the riders. Red flag in the sky. Now we are going to continue on. Elimination number 1 of the women coming your way. Okay, so for the girls, there is going to be a 14 women heat. Flora Asnier, Nua Suadiez, Paula Novotna, Oran Ceris, Bowen van der Linden, Kylie Beluva, Madalena Spano, Lydiana Sanders, Tima Flanagan, Roberta Suini, Sofia Machetti, Rocio Regert, Charlotte Barazuzzi, and Liana Oliveira. Those are your ladies that are going to be starting off in less than 2 minutes as we continue on with this elimination number 1, Surf-Slalom, Taiba, Brazil. And there it is, no flag in the sky, no flag in the sky, meaning that there is less than a minute to the start. All right, so just waiting for the ladies to make their way forward as there they are, there they are. Let's not forget, let's have a little look at the older world title contenders when it comes to the gold. Basically, Flora will be world champion if she ends up 4th for better overall, and Nia is world champion if she wins Taiba and Flora ends 5th or worse. All right, so having a look, Spanu there with the Gasher. We can see Kylie Beluva out there on the Takun wing. We can see Oran Ceris there on the Nitro Free wing. And I'm pretty damn sure, yeah, that is going to be Flora Asnier out the back. Nia Suardias and Paolo Novotna both rocking the new D-Lab unit from Duotone. And out there on their Fnatic boards. And I think that is going to be Nia in 2nd position. Because I know Paula is out there on the Star, which is the yellow one. Okay, so Oran Ceris is going to be your leader so far. And had a little chat to her. Let me get my notes up here together so I can try and give you exactly what she is out. She is out there on the Chubanga 500 front wing. 3-wing Nitro from Airrush starboards. And then also on the starboard takeoff 45-liter board. So Oran at the moment is your current leader. But everything really is decided when you make your way up the top to that top boy. Let's not forget 14 women heat who are going to be making it through, who are going to be winning here. Let's not forget Flora needs to win the top 4 to be able to take the championship. So she's definitely going to be pushing for that one. As Flora is out there on the V2 Strike from F1. And she will be out on the skate 550, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so Orancelis first. I correct myself, excuse me there on the cameras. So Floras near first, Nia Suardiaz is in second position at the moment. Got a little bit of a battle on in between Flora and Nia as they are pushing it around. And let me just double check if that is. I do apologize, but it is very hard to see from all the way over here. I'm waiting for a pink helmet to know if it is on Nia or not. But Flora, yeah, there's the pink helmet. All right, Nia Suarez in second. Flora Asner in first. Orancelis in third as they are pushing along, making their way down here on that down pumping track. Nia out there on the 105 Mars from Fnatic, 590 front wing, and a 55-litre board. And a very good battle we have at the moment in between these two athletes, Flora Asner and Nia Suarez. Because let's not forget, Nia still has the possibility of being world champion of the Surf-Slalom, but she needs to win Taiba, and Flora needs to end up 5th or worse. So slim possibilities, but hey, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. It ain't over until the buzzer, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, it is buzzing out there on the water right now as the girls are bolting like lightning, flying across the beautiful waters we have here in Taiba. And there was a wipeout. Flora went down, meaning that Nia is going to take this elimination number 1. Whoa, pressure getting to your current tour leader on the Surf Slalom. So first position, Nia Suarez, as she just goes past there. I can see Javo Santangelo, one of our judges out there on the boat. Orancelis is going to be in second position, going through in third, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that does look like there's a battle on in between these two. So from the bottom, oof, that's going to be too close to take. But that was in between Paula Novotna and Kylie Belouv. And then in 5th is going to be Flora Asner. So still waiting. Let's not forget the results here on the stream. I'm looking and using visual determination to see who is out there, so we can make mistakes. As soon as the official results come through, I will be updating you back at home. I hope you're enjoying the Surf Slalom so far. We're trying to keep you up to date as much as possible. Obviously, on the Surf Slalom side, it's a little bit more techy. If you want to know any information on equipment, on strategies, I'll try and answer those comments there on the stream. I had a chat to pretty much every rider before we got up here to get a little information on the weapons they have in their arsenal here for the race. All right, so now we continue on and we go for the mini final of the men. Mini final of the men coming up next. As I am still waiting for the results to be updated to see who is going to be going out on the water right away. Elimination number 1, Surf Slalom, Taiba, Brazil. All right, so red flag, less than 3 minutes. Mini final is going to be Noé Kuyala, Alan Fedit, Sebastiano Zorzi, Chucho Nunot, Julian Boyer, Christopher McDonald, Axel Gerard, Oscar Leclerc, Ricardo Zorzi, and Clement Rosero. That is going to be small final out on the water. Just coming up on 2 minutes before the start. All right, less than a minute to go as we go for this first mini-final of the men. I mean, definitely some of the fastest guys are probably Julien Boyer, and Axel Gerard was going very well. Riccardo Zorzi also, let's not forget. He is one of the fast young Italians. And let's have a little look. He's one of the SAB foil-sponsored riders. And I'm just going to check my notes here as... Yep, so Riccardo, he is out there on a new Wind Proto, 45 litres. He is going to probably be on the 570 Stab. He's out on the 103 Mars Stab foils, probably one of the fastest and best foils out there. But once again, the little youngster, Noé Kuyala, starting off with power. Underneath him, Axel Gerard, we can see him there with the AFS. Chucharonot out there on the North Mode, that new N-Weave, stiffer, lighter, faster. Gold Series with the Julien Boyer there from the RRD. And I reckon this is probably Riccardo Zorzi on the bottom, because he's looking a little bigger there, out there on a 6.5. Yes, so that is going to be Riccardo. And out the back is going to be his little brother, Sebastiano. So at the moment, as it stands, Axel Gerard in the first, second position, Julien Boyer third, Riccardo Zorzi. Fourth is going to be Christopher MacDonald, already going through into third, but it all comes down to the turn. Chucharonot out there on the mode from North, who would also be rocking the Seek and the Sonar High Aspect 540. So yeah, Chucho out there, sorry, not 540, 550. A lot of stats to be able to get off, rack them off. I hope this information is helping you guys and girls with kind of what foils the best of the best are going for when it comes to Surf-Slalom. But yet, kind of rounding it off, it seems like the top guys are on above a meter mast. So we have, you know, the likes of the 103s coming from the Sabs. We can see 115 out there from Matis Gio. Then, you know, but hey, Tituan Galea, he's still on that 85 mast. So, you know, it does mix it up in between 85 and 115. But yeah, the general consensus seems to be around 550 front wings and then boards of around 45 litres. But, you know, top of the game out there on the water. And at the moment, that ASF looking like the Batmobile. Axel Gerard, second position, Riccardo Zorzi. Obviously, you can see it on the screen, and I can see it out of my window, trying keeping you guys and girls updated as much as possible. So there it is, a battle for first and second here of this mini-final. And Alan Fedit there also on the AFS. Just in the back, there he is, the Rastameister. And now it comes down to the pumping. Because if they are pumping like that, Riccardo, I wonder if he is out there. He looks like he's able to stay up. I wonder if he's going to be out there on his 750 from Sab. But going down, let me just double check to see the helmet color of him. It is hard to keep up with all of these guys. Riccardo is out, so both of them. Both of them with a white helmet, so we're going to have to confirm that as they get a little bit closer. And here we have Julien Boyer taking over at the end. Out there on the gold wing from RRD, the Beluga Limited 55-litre board. And he probably is either on the Blaze 650 wing from 650 foil front wing from RRD or the 530. Looking at the conditions, I reckon he's probably going to be on the 530, how he is speeding across there. So there they are, both of the athletes pushing their way through, and we have a battle on our hands for second, third, and fourth position. Look how close these athletes are. All right, so making his way in first is definitely going to be Julien Boyer. Second is going to be Riccardo Zorzi. Third, Axel Gerard. Fourth in between, Alan Fedit and Christopher MacDonald. Let's see what fourth and fifth will be. We'll get confirmation for that as soon as possible as we now move over to the big final. Let's go back to the committee boat to see when they're about to start. There it is, red flag, less than 3 minutes to go. Francesco Capuzzo, Matis Gio, Gregorio Pugliese, Tituan Galea, Alessandro Tomasi, Ugo Marina, Camille Boyer, Nicolas Spano, Tom Aubert and Bastien Escoffet We saw Francesco win all of his heats. We saw Mattis win all of his heats. And then also Tituan and Alessandro Tomasi. Those are always guys to look out for. Ugo Marin, a very fast athlete. But Camille as well. Gonna be a tough one. Bastien Escoffet always out there on the Patrick. Flies through the competition area. We will have to see. We will have to see what is gonna be going down here for elimination number 1 final of the men. Coming your way. And let's see. I reckon that Tituan is going to be out there on that new Skate SK8 530 from F1. And definitely still rocking in the Rocket 42 litre board. So let's go, let's go. Yellow flag in the sky. Yellow flag in the sky. Less than 2 minutes. So now that we have a little bit of a breather, let's see those world title scenarios. So obviously the main player, Tituan Galea, if he gets up better than Francesco or Camille in this event, he's world champ. Francesco needs to win Taiba and Tituan needs to end second or worse for him to be world champion, because they are tied in points, but the tie will be broken in favor with Francesco beats Tituan more than 2 times versus once. Francesco also will be world champion if he ends up second, Tituan third, and Camille 4th position or worse. Camille wins if he wins in Taiba. Francesco is second and Tituan is third. Both three will be tied in points. However, the tie will be broken in favor of Camille for winning the last event. So kind of the main players, as obviously there's a lot of action to go down. Tituan Galea, Francesco Capuzzo, Camille Bouillet, and with a slim chance at the end there for Mattis Gio. So all of those guys in this final, no surprise there as we are about to get going, because here they are. You can see out there on the dark blue F1 wing V2, that is Tituan Galea, who on the inside, Ugo Marin on the outside, that is Bastien Escoffet, Francesco Capuzzo right in the middle there, Oscar Leclerc all the way out the back as well. As it goes, we can see Nicola Spano, Alessandro Tomasi. All right, so first position, Gio. Second position, looking like Francesco. Third, Camille Bouillet. And I know Francesco is going to follow Gio like no tomorrow. Tituan Galea pushing away. There I can see Patrick Board. That's Bastien Escoffet. The new Enzis. That is going to be, let me have a look. I reckon, if I'm not mistaken, that is going to be Nicola Spano, waiting for confirmation if it's Nicola Spano or Alessandro Tomasi. I am waiting for confirmation on that, but definitely your top 3. There we have them. Francesco Capuzzo, Mattis Gio, Tituan Galea. Who is going to make it to that top 4 first? We will soon find out. So Alessandro Tomasi will be out there on the new Enzis, the new Score LE. And it will be a 5.2 if I'm not mistaken, as I had a little chat with him earlier this morning. He is on the Chubango foil, 570 front wing, and also a 95 mast. And his board is homemade, 75 litres, because he is a bit bigger than a lot of the other riders. But here we have, that is the moment out there, as we can see. First position, Francesco Capuzzo. Second position, Ocean Rodeo there, Mattis Gio, looking out of my window. Third position is going to be Tituan Galea. Alessandro Tomasi closely behind him. And I reckon that's going to be Camille. So here we have Francesco and Mattis, both 2 of the world title contenders, using the bump, using the power. Mattis getting on a wave a little bit. It's going to be a battle to the bottom. Who's going to take it? Looks like Francesco is in on the inside. Can he hold it together? Oh! But goes over. Mattis having going over Francesco. Francesco going down. And Mattis also Francesco managed to keep to his feet, pumping away. Tituan Galea, the shark, coming in from behind. And just, I bet there was a little smile on his face as he passed him as well. All right, so all of it mixes up. This is, you know, the beauty of the Surf-Slalom. Anything can happen. So first position, I can confirm, is Tituan Galea at the moment. Now let's have a look at the battle there, because it is the battle in between the RRDs and the Enzis. That is going to be white helmet Camille, I reckon. Francesco also is pushing there as well. So just waiting to get confirmation on those athletes coming through. But it is going to be Tituan Galea in first. Guys, cameras on second and third, please. I reckon that is going to be number one. I'm pretty sure that is going to be one of the Bouillet brothers. Alessandro Tomasi, Francesco Capuzzo, Bastien Escoffet. Wow, that was a complete mix-up out there. And I wonder if there's going to be a few words in between Matis Gio and Francesco Capuzzo, as they did have a collision. Because it did look like Francesco almost lost his feet there on that boy. We will wait for information. So just waiting for the update there on the results. Let me have a look at the old chat to see if they are there. Okay, for the women, no. The men just waiting for this to come up as we continue on. Because next up we will have the South American men in less than 2 minutes. All right, so I am refreshing, and double refreshing, and just waiting for those results to come in to see who has taken that first elimination round, because I tell you what. All right, so final looking like, as it's been updated, first position, Tituan Galea. Second position, Camille Bouillet. Third position, Gregorio Pugliese. So that is your top three so far. And there it is, all right, as we have the second elimination of the girls, and it's carnage. Oh, it is carnage out there. Wow. Going absolutely all over the place, those athletes. All right, so let's have a little look who is out front. So that is looking like, if I can see the black... If I can see the black legs, yes, that is looking like it is going to be Nia Suarez out there in first. Out on the Gastra, if I'm not mistaken, that is going to be Spanu. Madalena Spanu. Third position, I can see another duotone yellow. That is going to be Paula Nowotna. And there we can see there on the wing also the Brazilian Roberta Zuini coming out of Paracuru together with Liliana Sanders, also out of Paracuru. So all of the athletes already starting to make their way up. And still no update on the rest of the results from the grand finale. So just having a little look-see while we're waiting to see which is going to be the first athlete to make the top. Yep, fourth, Alessandro Tomasi. So first, Tituan, second, Camille, third, Gregorio Pugliese, and fourth, Alessandro Tomasi. Tituan with a smile on his face because they did him a favor there, because he had both Camille and both Francesco Capuzzo in the lead, and he needs to be in front of those guys if he wants to take this World Championship. So here we have, okay, first position, yes, definitely is going to be Nia Suarez way out in the front. Way out in the front. Second position on the Gastra. I think it's Spano. I'm trying to see if there's a number there. No, there isn't. Have to get information out there. But it is this young lady, Nia Suarez, already cruising and perusing with ease. And if I can see when he gets her wing down, I'll be able to see if it is Magdalena Spano or not. I think it is. Let me have a little check here. Look like a pink helmet, if I'm not mistaken. Red helmet if it is her. So Nia Suarez, first position. Let's see if we can get the camera on the second athlete, please, guys. And that is looking, let's see, I just want to see if it's a red helmet. Yep, that is Spano. So already we can see first position for Nia Suarez, second position for Magdalena Spano. But Nia Suarez just cruising through this final as there was an absolute mayhem, chaos, charging, splashing wipeouts on the start line. All right, so that is going to be Bowen van der Linden there with the North mode. And I'm going to go out on a limb here saying, looking like that is the style and the unit D-Lab. But that is definitely looking like Paula Novotna. All right, so taking the win, there it is. Nia Suarez takes elimination number 1 and a smile on her face. Let's go back to the action on second. That is going to be Paula Novotna, if I am not mistaken. In second position, let's see as she turns around here. Yep, Paula Novotna in second position. Third position, Magdalena Spano out there on the Gastra. If I'm not mistaken, that's looking like the Gastra Cross. And here we have Bowen van der Linden out on the new North mode. Bo getting very, very good in the way. She is the last year's World Surf Freestyle Champion and has ended up second at this event. And Bo is out there on her 4.6 48-litre Seek, the Sona High Aspect 650 from North, and she's out there on her 5.5 mode that has that new N-weave fabric, 30% lighter, 30% stiffer, 40% lycra, or vice versa. I can't quite remember. But yeah, that's kind of North's new technology. We've seen a lot of the companies using the Luda. You've got that Hokipa material out there as well. Now we have the M-weave there from North, basically trying to make all of the equipment lighter, stiffer. So you can just not forget, the bones, the stiffness of the wings of the kites is what gives you that direct feel. So trying different, new avenues of construction is kind of where design is going at the moment in the winging. So yeah, there we can see all of those girls starting to perform. And let's go back to some of the results as I'm hitting the refresh button here on that men's final. So men's final, we have Tituan Galean first, Gregorio Pugliese second, third Camille Bouillet, fourth Alessandro Tomasi, and fifth Francesco Capuzzo. And now on the ladies of this elimination, so this would be elimination number 2. No, elimination, it was definitely Nia Suarez who took the win. And now we will be going for the South American men, as it looks like they're going to be coming our way. If there isn't a flag in the sky, it could mean two things. Either there's less than a minute to start, because I didn't see the flags before, or we're just waiting to go into sequence. I'm trying to get information out from you guys. We're having a little bit of a communication issue with the walkie-talkies to the boats, but doing our best here. And a good day of race, a good day of slalom speed out there so far with this surf slalom discipline of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. All right, it looks like I can see them starting to go towards the start boat, so I reckon, yep, it is going to be probably a go, as I am riding blind here at the moment. Okay, so no, so we haven't got a flag in the sky so far, so it looks like we are on standby as waiting for the flags to be hitting the sky, as next up will be the South American men elimination number 1. All right, so we are off here with the South American elimination number 1. Dudu Masakato, Vinicius Martins, you can see there. And Vinicius Martins there on the Cabrina. I think that is going to be Dudu Masakato. I'm just waiting for confirmation. It will be number 161. So let's have a little look, as it is hard to identify them all the way from over here. And I can't see the number to save my life. So, yep, I'm going to have to get confirmation from the boats as they turn around. South American champions. The South American elimination number 1 of the men. So definitely looks like the duotone athlete out there is in first position. That could be Daniel Cruz. I actually think that actually might be Daniel Cruz. I had a chat to him before, and he said he was out there on a green board. So waiting for confirmation. He would be at number 309. Hopefully I'll be able to see his lycra soon to be able to see if that is. But white numbers on a yellow lycra from a distance. It's going to be a tough one. All right, so that is definitely Vinicius Martins, a very talented athlete as well, who looks like, if I'm not mistaken, has taken that first position. Yep, so Vinicius is going to be there in first. And he is going to be flying his way down. We've seen him at quite a few events. It's good to see him doing well here. He's out there on the X-Wing from JP, the 45-liter board. 550 front wing at 92 centimeter mask. And he's out there on the Cabrina X3. So flying through in first position at the moment. There on the JP and Neil Pride foil and board and the Cabrina X3 wing. And then here we can see the duotone rider. That's still waiting for confirmation to see who that is. But definitely your current leader, Vinicius Martins, who looks like he's going to be the first athlete to approach the serpentine, a little zigzag we got before the finish. He is getting followed very closely. All right, let's see. I reckon that is Dudu. I do reckon that is Dudu Masakato. One of the local heroes here. Let's have a look on the second position, please, guys. We're trying to identify him. No, we're not going to be able to know how that is. So, okay, so let's go back to the first athlete. Yeah, I'm going to say that is Dudu. All right, so first position, Vinicius Martins. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that second position, I reckon, is going to be for Dudu Masakato, as I am just waiting for those results to come in. And we are going to be continuing on with the South American women coming up next. I will try and update and see who the mystery man is. Because looking at him there, I reckon he didn't look. That might be. All right, and we move over to the South American women. South American women are going to be coming up next. All right, so elimination. This is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be elimination. Yeah, elimination number 3 for the girls, as they're going to be continuing on. There it is, green flag, and we are a go. All right. So we will have to see. All right, Madalena Spanel there with the Gastra going out first. On the inside, that's Nia Suardias in the mix. We can see Bowen van der Linden, Paula Novotna up the top. I reckon that is going to be Roberta Sulini coming out of Paracuru there on the RRD. So there is the line. So that is going to be Nia Swadiath, Paula Novotna, Madalena Spanu, Kylie Belou, Bowen van der Linden on the white north. And then we can see just at the top there with the dark blue F1 on the left-hand corner, that was Flora Asner. Let's not forget, Flora Asner only needs to land a top 4th position overall to take the World Championship title in the Surf Slalom. And there we can see Oran Sedis out there as well, who took 2nd position in the last one. As we continue on, this is going to be elimination number 3 of the women. I do apologize. This is elimination number 3 of the women. So, Nia Swadias once again flying through, as we can see her there. Duotone D-Lab in her way to the top boy in 2nd position. We can see Flora Asner there with the V2 strike. Another duotone unit there with Paula Novotna. And closely behind her, Nicola Espano, if I'm not mistaken, is out there on the cross from Gastra, excuse me. But I will soon find out as we are getting confirmation out there from the board. So she's out there on the cross Gastra. She was either going to be using that or the poison for the racing. We will have to soon find out. But that lady there is your first athlete here, elimination number 3, Nia Swadias, who already has a couple wins. And there we have Flora Asner back in contention, current number 1 on the world ranking. Paula Novotna there in 3rd position. 4th we could see Kylie Belou, but it all comes down to this final leg where they start to come towards the zigzag. Got past the pumping and towards the zigzag part, and here we can see Flora Asner 2nd position. But Nia Swadias at the moment is absolutely flying across the water. She has definitely been putting in the work, and she is in 1st position once again so far. And there we can see Flora. So Nia Swadias in 1st, rocking the 55 Fanatic, 55-litre Fanatic board, 105 mast, and a 590 front wing on the unit, new unit from Duotone, the unit D-Lab. 2nd position I can see going through the line was Flora Asner out there on the V2 F1, and she is out there on the Skate 550. And Paula Novotna is on a 800 front wing, and she is out on the new style Fanatic board, and also the unit D-Lab from Duotone. So that is your top 3 athletes as we now continue on, because it is going to be elimination number 2 of the men. Elimination number 2 of the men coming up next. So the first heat of elimination number 2 will be Camille Boyer, Bastien Escoffet, Julien Boyer, Christopher McDonald, Sebastiano Zorzi, Malo Genole, Luca Gasperini, Dudu Masakato, Linian Jupet, and Goyito Estredo. That is your heat number 1, elimination number 2 coming our way very shortly, as all of the riders are going to be making their way back up to the committee boat. And it was just waiting for results on that South American men's heat. Without a doubt, the winner was Vinicius Martins, but still results have not been dropped, so I'm going to be asking for those very soon. But yeah, continuing on to elimination number 2, as we will have men's heat number 1 coming up next. And we are back, everybody, as we are going to be starting off elimination number 2 of the men out there on the water. So starting off, we will have Camille Boyer, Bastien Escoffet, Julien Boyer, Christopher McDonald, Sebastiano Zorzi, Malo Genolea, Luca Gasperini, Dudu Masacato, Lilian Joupet, and Goyito Estredo. Those are going to be the boys that are going to be thrown down for heat number 1. Heat number 1 of elimination number 2, where we saw Titouan already has an elimination under his belt, together with Nia Suarez, who has a couple already just waiting for results. So as it goes, we are less than a minute, because I can see the boys already starting to make their way towards this line. So let's have a little look-see as they are going to be starting to approach. I can see out the side window here. Elimination number 2, heat number 1 are coming our way. Get yourselves ready as they are about to come across this finish line. No, let's go back to the boat, guys. Back to the boat. Cameraman, back to the boat. Continue on the boat. Continue on the boat. Thank you very much. We stay there. Yep, that's it. We stay there. As we are about to get started. There it is. All right, and we are off. All right, I can see at the top that is going to be Bastien Escoffet out there on the Patrick in second position. That is Christopher McDonald. Third position, it looked like it was Sebastiano Zorzi with the slingshot. Both of these guys have started off very nicely. But there is also Camille Boyer on the bottom side together with Goyito Estredo. So, if I'm not mistaken, that RRD in third could be Goyito Estredo. We will soon find out. But first, Christopher McDonald. Second, Bastien Escoffet. Third, just on the gong there, is Malo Genolea, the Surf-Freestyle world champ. And just waiting for confirmation on that RRD gold wing to see which one of the riders it is, because it's either going to be Camille Boyer or Goyito Estredo. And as these guys are making their way up to that top buoy, this is where you start to see the difference. What is that? That is a number 2. That is going to be all right. So Camille Boyer, he is also in one of the contenders for that world title. Because let's not forget, Camille needs to win Taiba. If Francesco ends up second, Titouan third, they will be equal for equal points. But as he won the last event, he will be World Surf-Slalom champion. So Camille also, he is out there rocking the RRD gear out there on the Goldwing, the Beluga 55-litre limited, and the Blaze 530, I reckon, as it is looking windier. He said he would be out there on the 530 if it was windier, or on the 650 if it wasn't so windy. So one of those two as we continue on. Looks like a sound of the band is starting to get ready. We might want to ask them to turn it down just a little bit, guys. All right, so Camille Boyer, your current leader. There he is, getting ready, making his way down here, coming across the competition area. There we can see Julien Moyer and also Christopher McDonald. So it is going to be official. That man just about to go across the finish line. Camille Boyer in second position, but there is a battle. Let's go to second and third, guys. It looks like it is going to be Christopher McDonald in second, third, Julien Boyer, fourth. Just about to come past. That is Malo Grenole. And now let's have a look at the purple wing. Let's see if we can get a camera on the purple wing, guys. Just going through the finish line. I will have to wait to get confirmation on that. Let's stay on him, please, as we would like to try to identify him. I reckon that might be Lucas Gasperini or Dudu Masakato. One of the two. We'll try and get confirmation for you on that one. But I have a feeling that is going to be Gasperini, the Italian. We will soon find out as we continue on. And now coming up next, let's go back to the committee boat, as we will be starting with heat number 2. Gregorio Pugliese, Matis Gio, Ugo Marin, Alan Fedit, Chucho Nunot, Maxime Chablot, Vinicius Martins, Paolo Giacomo Brunelli, who got disqualified in elimination number 1, and Daniel Cruz. All right, so we can see everybody starting to get ready out there as we are continuing on elimination number 2 out there on the water. And Liam, welcome to the booth. Who are we going to be having coming up next in this second heat?
Joe, thank you for the warm welcome. Second heat coming up, elimination number 2 for the men. We have got Gregorio, Matis, Hugo, Alan, Chucho, Maxime, Vinicius, Paolo and Daniel all coming up in this heat. So looking like another good one. The men are out there. I've just come from the beach and again, wind sort of still sitting at around the 15 knots, but certainly providing some good racing.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of the guys out on 5.56s and even 6.5s out there on the water. So yeah, and let's not forget, I could see some of the guys out there on the new 5.5 there from the V2 of the Strike. So looking forward to see some of the light wind action. Also, elimination number 1, little bit of an upset in that final. Francesco Capuzzo and Matis Gio having a collision where we saw Francesco and him both on that, let's say, that would be buoy number 4, if I'm not mistaken, at the bottom, just colliding. The information I have in that the mast has pretty much been completely destroyed. So waiting to see, because I bet there's going to be a little bit of a protest coming their way.
Yeah, Matis took a nice tasty chunk out of that foil mast there. Capuzzo certainly was not happy. As a title contender for the both of them, there was a lot on the line there. And yeah, you could see as soon as he was coming back to shore after that elimination round, his face was raging. But Capuzzo is a top athlete. He is a competitor and he will be wanting to get some revenge on that. So I'm sure deep down, Joe, he'll be wanting to face Matis again and speed his way past him.
Yeah, he's going to want to make sure his fringe blows to one side. And I mean, you know what? He ain't calling him the Italian stallion for no reason. He ain't Rocky. But I tell you what, when it comes to light wind conditions, we've seen it time after time again. The RRD gear really does perform. They have the upwind, and he was out there on his secret weapon, that 900 wing from RRD. Is it going to be enough for him to be continuing on? Is he going to be able to look and change that mast? We will have to find out. But as we are there, just getting ready, yellow flag in the sky, 2 minutes to go. Big names already here in this heat number 2. We saw Gregorio Pugliese got 3rd on the overall on that last elimination, so already right up there. Matis Gio, I wonder how his equipment was after that collision. And of course, Ugo Marin, very fast ride. All of those guys in that big final. Let's see, as we are rocking it right into elimination number 2. I think the idea today is to get through 3 or 4 eliminations, because let's not forget, 4 eliminations, 1 discard, 7 eliminations, 2 discards. So I think the idea today would be to get through 4. It is 3:30 in the afternoon. It's taken us about 2 hours, 1 hour 45 to get through 1. I reckon we're going to end up around 3 eliminations today.
Yeah, I think the judges team ideally will want to be seeing us get through 4, but yes, Joe, I couldn't agree more. I think with what we have on the cards with the Women and the South American Championships as well, we'll be looking to get around elimination number 3. But if the wind keeps blowing and we can keep pushing, they will push and get through as many heats as possible. And on your screens now, you can see the men getting ready, sort of just floating around by the boat there, just getting a feel for it, waiting for that green flag to fire up into the air, and then it's all systems go, go, go.
Yeah, we can see the good thing about having the stream booth right on top of next to the judges, we can see it going, and here it is. That is the view we want to have. I can see Chucho Nunot up there with the North mode out in front, but that man, I reckon, let's see, pushing forward, as I said before. Ugo Marin starting off in first position. Up on the top, we can see Vinicius Martins with the Cabrina. On the bottom side, that is Alan Fadit, the Rastas on the AFS. Matis Gio, doesn't look like that crash has affected him. You can see him out there on the Ocean Rodeo and the Levitas equipment, and already flying. It definitely doesn't look like that crash has hurt him at all.
No, Matis there, just coming into his screens out of nowhere. Just flying in first place. Hugo Marin there on the F1 Strike V2, 5.5, so fully loaded, fully powered up. Third position, we have, remind me who we have, Joe, in the Cabrina.
On the Cabrina, we have Vinicius Martins. He is out there on the JP board, and the Neil Pride foil set up on the X3 Cabrina, black and yellow. But your leader, once again, rocking the Lula, the Ocean Rodeo rider, Matis Gio. And I am very impressed to see how, let's not forget, he is out on a 515 R5 Levitas front wing. A 515. And he is able, in these light wind conditions, and let's not forget also the pumping track, able to get through it, just shows the quality of this athlete.
Yep, after the pumping track, for sure, the legs will be burning, and those smaller front wings, but these guys, you know, they do this in their sleep. Matis Gio absolutely flying in first place at the moment. Lovely shot there where we can see 3 of our athletes. Matis putting in a little drive there, going back towards the next boy. You can see Hugo Marin there on the blue F1 that's just gone out your screen, but it's all eyes on this fella here who is currently sitting in first place. And what I find really interesting, Joe, as well, is the difference of equipment that they use between Surf-Freestyle and Surf-Slalom.
Yes, that is very true, but there is one couple that don't mix it up as much, and that is Camille and Julien Boyer. Let's not forget, Camille is in the world title race. He says, you know what, I can't bring all of the different gear, all of the different things to it, and he just shows the diversity of the RRD equipment. They're out there, obviously, on their gold wings with the Alula. They're on the same Beluga LTD 55 leaderboard and the Blaze 650 and 530. And one of the things Camille said is that, hey, let's not forget, I can surf with this gear, and there's waves up here on the right, so I can just cruise it and peruse it all the way along. So yeah, it is interesting to see all the different equipment, but you know what they say, it ain't the Indian, it's the arrow.
It ain't the Indian, it's the arrow. Here we have Hugo Marin in second place. I believe one of the Boyer brothers, just can't quite see the helmet there, but he will be sitting in third. Matis Gio out of our screens at the moment because he is way ahead in first place. There he is. Looks like coming towards the end. Once he goes round, this boy here powers himself up in a comfortable position at him first.
Yes, he does, and making it easy work of it. Matt is on the biggest mast of the competition, 1 meter 15 centimeters. I mean, that's what I talk about. Looking from above. When you get up on that floor, when you're a meter and a bit above, it makes a big difference from some of the other athletes that are on the 85s. But there you can see Matt is going through in first position. Second position is going to be Hugo Marin. There we can see him on our screen. In third, that is going to be Gregorio Pugliese, but watch out, Alan Fedit also there. So photo finishing between those two boys. But let's not forget, at this point in the competition, to be honest, it's just getting through rounds. When you really want to fight for those places is in the final, because top 5 athletes of each heat advance forward into the semis. Then once again, top 5 will advance forward into the grand finales. So early days out there at the moment. Good results there. Matasio looking like he is still on top. And coming up next will be heat number 3, where we have Alessandro Tomasi, Francesco Capuzzo. Let's see how he is after that fall. Riccardo Zorzi, Axel Gerard, Clement Rosseo, Max Robinson, Paolo Migliorini, Victor Habusik, Mauro Luis, and Manuel Paula. That is your Heat 3 elimination number 2. As we can see, all of our athletes starting to get ready out there.
There it is, yellow flag in the air, so not long now until this heat gets underway. Excited to see who will finish in the top 5 here and advance into the semi-finals. But we're going to have to wait a few minutes until we find out who those 5 athletes will be. We can see here now, all of them just getting ready, trying to get the timing bang on the money for when they pass that start line, because it's all about a good start here. They'll want to be timing that start to absolute perfection.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the beauty things here of the slalom is, let's not forget, they can't be inside that triangle 1 minute before. So they have to get their way out, and then they have to, you know, go for a straight and kind of mark their line. You can't be tacking or messing around when you are in that last minute. So they have to come towards the committee boat, and then that is when you can see that straight line of vision already. I can see the athletes making their way towards it. Here they come. This heat number 3. As we are just getting ready for it to start, all of the riders making their way towards the competition area. Just about, as that green flag is going to be hitting them very soon. Let's see. All right, green flag. So up on the top we have Clement Rossio. There we can see Axel Gerard here with the black and reds. Alessandro Tomasi in the middle with the new Enzis. And Francesco Capuzzo also at the top, but it looks like he's wanted to go down. Riccardo Zorzi with the slingshot, looking like he's on the 6.5. And this is where Francesco always, he kind of chills it. But then it is in this position here when he starts to get and starts to gain some distance. You already can see he kind of went behind, but now this is where his equipment really pushes. And hopefully he had another mast out there, and he's going to be able to get back some positions. So, heat number 3, elimination number 2. Tomasi already making the spin, already making the turn up there.
There he is, Joe. Interesting concept with that wing as well. I wonder what the sort of material is that is coming from there. It'd be nice to sort of find that out, because definitely looks different. But nice shot here. We can see a fleet of our athletes there. And who do we have here that's sitting behind Alessandro Tomasi?
Well, we can see out there that is going to be on the RRD. We are going to be having, we can see Francesco Capuzzo is the one with the orange helmet. And Paolo Migliorini also will be out there, number 301. So if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be Paolo on the left-hand side and Francesco on the right. And there we can see, like you said, Alessandro Tomasi out there on the new score, LE 5-2 from Enzis. So we have a battle in between these two athletes as we continue on.
Yeah, Capuzzo there, I think, sitting in second place, put in a turn nice and early. Interesting to see where they're putting their turns in on this course. Some are doing it early, some are doing it late, and it's clearly a guessing game at the start, but then they find out what works best and they can implement it into their future heats. So, very interesting to see where these top athletes will finish, but like you say, you don't have to finish in the first position to make it through. You know, top 5 go through, and now the pumping track begins. This is where Capuzzo can shine. There's a nice little wave coming here for Sebastian Zorzi. Is he going to catch that one? Yes, he is. He can cruise a little bit more now. A little bit easier on the legs. He's really catching that one nicely. Capuzzo now in first position. Alessandro Tomasi getting caught up in that wave. First, Capuzzo. Second, Zorzi. Third, Tomasi. And here's Zorzi finding the pedal to the metal. All systems go. His foot is on the gas, taking into Capuzzo. Capuzzo second place now. How's it going to finish?
It's definitely is pushing around because but watch out because Capuzzo is a master at photo finishes. But let's not forget this is only the first round of elimination number 3. So if you're top 5, you are going to be going through to the next one. So obviously, there's pride. Obviously, you can see in here. Watch out. Going to be turning around. But I reckon, yeah, it definitely looks like Riccardo Zorzi is going to be taking this one. As all of them know, that top 5 will be making it through to the next round. Doesn't look too concerned about that. So that is going to be a heat number 3, elimination number 2. It's going to be Riccardo Zorzi, Francesco Capuzzo. Making the boy turn is going to be Alessandro Tomasi. Yeah, Alessandro there. And here we can see Axel Gerard out on the AFS.
Yeah, he's a great young competitor, Axel Gerard. Very, very talented also when it comes to surf freestyle. Always delivers and takes it to anyone he's facing. Very, very talented young individual. Like a lot of the other Wingfoil athletes that we have on tour, I would definitely say it's attracting that younger fleet of riders.
It certainly is. It is great to see the kids. They got the fire, they got the hunger, and watch out, veterans, they are coming with speed, especially here in this surf slalom. As we continue on, heat number 4, Tituan Galea, Tom Ober, Nicolas Panua, Oscar Leclerc, Noé Cuyala, Xavier Cor, Sergio Pereira, Antonio Correa, and Clement Jamon. Clement, who had probably he's not a man yet, but one of the boys of this contest, because he actually kicked out tour leader Goyito Estredo in the competition and put him to the sidelines while he was waiting to see if Malo would or would not make it all the way to the final, where he did and claimed himself that Surf-Freestyle World Championship. So Clement, a very talented freestyler. Let's see how he does here on the Surf Slalom. Less than a minute to go. Heat number 4, elimination number 2 of the men. And there it is. We're off for heat number 4 as we have that green flag. Even getting our cameraman by surprise. So, first position we can see out there with the duotone. That is going to be Clement Rosselló, if I'm not mistaken. No, excuse me, Tom Aubert in second position. Oscar Leclerc in third. Nicolas Spano. And there we can see, I reckon it's going to be Cuyala out there on the F1. He has been doing very fast so far. Let's see, 5.5. Yeah, I reckon that probably is going to be Noé Cuyala. We will confirm that as soon as he turns around. You can also see Paolo also pushing forward. So Tituan Galea who is going to be out in front. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a wider shot, please, so we can see who is out in front. So if I'm not mistaken, white helmet, yeah, Tituan, we can see him turning around there. Hopefully we'll be able to see them as we make our way up to the top buoy to see who is going to reach that one first, as I can see the three wings about to fly through. Nicola Spano out the top there, but now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, let's follow the transparent wing and the duotone. There it is. So those two are Nicola Spano, Tom Aubert, and there we can see Tituan Galea turning in as well. Your top three at the moment.
Yeah, Tituan sitting nicely in first there on that 5.5. Nicely powered up. Good, nice shot here where you can see all top athletes. Tituan heading round the buoy now. Soon to be coming and heading towards that pumping track. Here they go. Nice little kiter in the background there. You can see plenty of water sports offerings here, but right now full focus on that pumping track here. Will one of them catch a wave? We've just seen from Sebastian Zorzi in the previous heat that it does help catching a wave. So Tituan here, has he got it? Yes, look at that. He's not pumping as much, whereas these guys are really working the legs.
Yeah, we can see there Oscar Leclerc making it all the way. Tom Aubert, Nicola Spano having a little bit of trouble. So it is going to be Tituan Galea in first, and if I'm not mistaken, just waiting for it to come back. There he is. Yeah, Oscar Leclerc out there on the Vayu. Those are going to be your top two at the moment. And he is out there on the axis, either 700 or 500. He said he was going to be out, and a 55-litre board, 100 centimeter mast. And then when it comes to Tituan, he's out there on the 85 centimeter mast, and he was either going to be on the 530 or the 550 skate. The 530, a new skate SK8, he said that he was trying out. Not quite sure which one he has on, because they do change in between heats. And he is out there on a 42-litre board. So all of them at the moment, it does look like Tituan is the man to beat. So first position, Tituan Galea. Second position, Oscar Leclerc. Third, Tom Aubert. Nicola Spano in fourth. And I reckon there it looks like Xavier Core from Tarifa, the event winner of the Surf-Freestyle at the last event over in Spain, Tarifa. Looks like he might have slid his way in to the next round. As we now continue on, because coming up next we will have heat number 5, which will be semi-final number 1. Camille Bouyer, Mathis Gio, Christopher McDonald, Ugo Marin, Julien Bouyer, Gregorio Pugliese, Mano Renolé, Alan Fedit, Lilian Juppet, and Chucho Nunot. These are the athletes coming up next, as it looks like flags have not been flags are not flying in the sky yet. And I can see them talking to the committee boat as we wait for semi-final number 1. And there we can see everybody starting to get ready and just waiting out as we will continue on with the semi-final heat number 5 coming up next of the men. It looks like the guys are starting to go. I reckon that red flag will be in the air very shortly, meaning that we will be 3 minutes till the start.
And in this first semi-final, a really good fleet actually. Some big names, especially in the previous sort of surf-freestyle category. But right now, surf-slalom is the focus. Camille Boyer, Mathis Gio, Christopher McDonald, Hugo Marin, Julien Boyer, Gregorio Puglisi, Malo Guenolo, Alan Fedit, Lilian Joubet, and Chucho Nonot. So plenty of good, solid riders here. And again, Mathis will want to be making it through to the final. I really do hope, Joe, that we can see another Mathis-Francesco showdown.
Oh, I definitely want to see a showdown. I just hope we don't see a javelin or a blinking lancing out there, because you can see, unfortunately, they did hit each other quite hard, and one of them destroying each other's equipment. So, yeah, luckily no injuries out there of those two athletes, as we do continue on, like you say, semi-final number 1 coming our way. Yellow flag in the sky. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. And there it is, no flag in the sky, ladies and gentlemen, meaning that it is about to get on the way. Yellow flag, there it is, down we go. Okay, sorry, I didn't see the flag properly there. So less than a minute to the start of this next heat. Semi-final number 1 coming out there on the water. And who is it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? Because like you said, there's some decent names out there at the moment. And let's see, because Camille Boyer and Mathis Gio are 2 of the contenders when it comes to the World Championship. Camille has more possibilities than Mathis. Tituan is the man who has it all to win. Basically, if he ends up in front of Camille and Francesco, he is world champion, and at the moment has already won at that elimination number 1 of the Surf-Slalom. So let's continue on. Have a little look-see out the window. Yep. Athletes are coming towards the finish line, meaning that we are getting ready to go. Let's wait for that green flag. There it is. All right, so Ugo Marin out there with the black helmet, with the yellow helmet and the F1. That is Christopher McDonald. I can see with the AFS, that is going to be Alan Fedit. But once again, we can see here at the bottom, Mathis Gio. But this time, Ugo keeping up with him, and watch out for Julien Boyer at the bottom, pushing the RRD. And here we have Ugo deciding to go a little bit more downwind. And I can see Mathis decided to change it up. And he has actually turned earlier than he has in all the other heats. Camille has also turned just behind Mathis. So we're going to come down to see who gets to that top buoy.
Yeah, super interesting. Every single time these guys hit the water, they seem to do something different. They change the tactics slightly. So will it pay off for them here? Who knows, but we will find out in roughly just over a minute, because right now on your screens, Hugo Marin, Malu Gueno as well, riding the Gong gear, the nice black Gong wing. coming off the back of a freestyle win over the last couple of days. But here we have a number of athletes. Who is going to get to that boy first? Out in first position. It would be great to have a view of who is firing through, and there it is, none other than Mattis Gio on the Ocean Rodeo Alula wing. Really interesting, Joe. We see a lot of these fast riders riding that Alula material.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all of the different brands. Some of them have a different approach. There's kind of three things out there at the moment. You've got the Alula, you've got the Hokipa. Some brands are using the X-Ply, and then also you have the new NW from North. So in the end, what are they looking for? They're looking for lighter gear that is stiffer, so it's more direct, so they can react more, and also, of course, to be able to make it a little bit more fancy and just see how aerodynamic they can go. Great to see the new constructions, because design-wise, it is far and few between, so it does slow down, but definitely all of the brands are looking into these new constructions, and I mean, man, it does make a difference.
Yeah, it does make a difference. It does make a difference. The conditions dictate what these riders want to choose, but we've seen Mattis ride this wing pretty much at every Surf-Slalom event, and why would he choose otherwise when he's flying out in first position? Second position here, tough to see, but I have a feeling it might be Hugo Marin or potentially Christopher McDonald. It'll be nice to see when they go around the buoy what face pops through, but here, number 12, Mattis Gio in first position.
Yeah, we can see Mattis there, and second is definitely going to be Ugo. Third, it is a battle of the RRDs. Fourth is definitely Alan Fedit. And now let's have a look at that second position athlete. As I reckon that is going to be Gregorio Pugliese, number 5. We'll soon confirm that. But yeah, making the win now. Mattis Gio going through. Here we can see Ugo Marin. And a little hip-hop hey there for Svetlana. Yep, that is Gregorio Pugliese, number 5 out there. Alan Fedit, Mr. Rasta Style Meister. And Camille going through, as he knows he did not want to not make his way through to the final, because he is battling it out. So there we have it, semi-final number 1. Next up, semi-final number 2 coming our way. Riccardo Zorzi, Tituan Galea, the current leader, Francesco Capuzzo, Oscar Leclerc, Alessandro Tomasi, Tom Hubert, Mauro Luis, Nicola Spano, Paolo Migliorini, and Xavier Ecco. Interesting heat coming up, because let's not forget we have the current leader, Tituan Galea, in this one, and Francesco Capuzzo, who's probably the second guy with the most possibilities of becoming the Surf-Slalom World Champion. Let's go over those stats one more time, because Francesco, he needs to win. Tituan needs to be second or worse for him to be World Champion. They're both tied, but at the moment, if that happens, Tituan would be more times second than first than Francisco. So that is what would be going down. So basically, a battle in between Tituan Galea and Francesco Capuzzo is definitely out there on the water. And also I can see out here in the front, we've got a little standoff in between James Carew, the current world GKA Kitesurf World Champion, and Pedrinho, who is also out there. One of the top riders out there from Brazil. Both of these boys absolutely rip, and they're just giving us a little bit of a display, because I know those two guys are going to be battling it out. 3 minutes to go. And we can enjoy some more surf slalom action. 3 minutes to go on this one. And just take a look out there on the water, as we can see also some surf strapless in the flats.
Yeah, surf strapless happening up next week. That is the next event that we are lucky and fortunate enough to be in Brazil for. We're not done in Brazil yet. We have the hydrofoil freestyle and the kite surf event all going down next week, which you will also be able to tune into. But right now, full focus on semi-final number 2, elimination number 2 of the men's.
And there it is, yellow flag. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Semi-final number 2 out there on the water. All right, 1 minute to go. A semi-final number 2 coming our way. And let's see who is going to be making their way through to the grand finale and who is going to be ducking it out and going to the mini. I can see Tomasi already up in the mix there with the new Enzis. The orange and that's transparent. Axel Gerard here on the inside. Oscar Leclerc. And there they go. All right. Great start for Spanu and Alessandro Tomasi. Oscar Leclerc here on the middle also. As we keep going. Tom Aubert there on the bottom side, if I'm not mistaken. Titouan Galea, there you can see him on the orange, Liam.
Yeah, Titouan sitting. Oh, there he goes. First position. Interesting. Where is Capuzzo? Where's Capuzzo sitting currently in this heat? Round 5th at the moment. He's about 5th position. So, in where he needs to be to make it through, but he'll definitely be wanting to make up some places to secure that place that gets him into the final.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget top 5 make their way through to the final. Easy heats at the moment for the top athletes. I mean, to get top 5 in the semis for the guys that are battling it out in the final, you're pretty much sure they're going to get there. But there you can see, testing each other out, Titouan Galea and Francesco Capuzzo. All right, there we can see Spanu already making the turn. Titouan and Francesco pretty much synchronizing there on the tack. And let's see, it's all going to be coming down to who gets up there in the middle with the red value. That is Oscar Leclerc. And it looks like Titouan going a little bit faster, but he is going downwind. Francesco always does really well on the upwind here. But it's going to have to see if he's going to have the speed to be able to make it through. As we can see, there it is. Titouan already turning around. Francesco will turn around behind him. So, first position, Titouan Galea. Second position, Francesco Capuzzo. Third position, that is Nicolas Spanu.
And Nicolas Spanu there taking it to Francesco, like you said, top 5. So, it's quite comfortable position for these guys at the moment, so no stress. You know, there's our top 3 riders. Titouan on the right, Nicolas Spanu there with the white wing, and Francesco Capuzzo with the RRD and the orange helmet. In the back there as well, I believe that will be Alessandro Tomasi. And there is a wave that potentially, oh, look at Tituan there gliding along. Francesco pumping his way so he can also catch it. So he does. And now probably looks like he's going to go into the first position. Oh no, Tituan has just caught him on the inside.
Yes, he has, but it does look like Francesco has the speed, but Tituan hitting the knocks and hitting the turbo there on the F1 going forward. Look at these boys absolutely firing across the competition area. First position, Tituan Galea. Second position is going to be Francesco Capuzzo, and I can see out of the window here that third is Alessandro Tomasi. So great work there for these three athletes. But Tituan just once again, I mean, he is a master when it comes to strategy. And yep, so that means pretty much the top two contenders of the world title are making their way past. So they are both in the grand finale. Francesco needs to make this final happen if he wants to have an opportunity to finish in front. Let's not forget, he has to win if he wants to get this one home. Francesco needs to win, and Tituan needs to be second if he wants to have a chance at the World Championship.
Yeah, and just in that heat, even though that was a semi-final and both athletes went through, there would have been a slight mental thing there for Capuzzo wanting to take it to Tituan, you know. Although they're both safe and they're both in the top 5, if Francesco maybe could have snipped that one from Tituan, it would have been like, hey, I'm here and I'm not messing around.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not, and also let's not forget that pretty much in between Tituan, Francesco, and Cami, they need to end up in front of each other to be able to win. So Tituan has the biggest chances of becoming the new Surf-Slalom, but we will soon find out. So next up, we are going to be moving over to the ladies. So let's have a little look out there on the water. It's going to be the same order. So that is going to be, we have Ferraz Nier, Niesra Diaz, Paula Novotna, Rancelis, Bowen van der Linden, Kylie Belouvre, Madalena Spano, Lydiana Sanders, Tima Flanagan, Roberta Sugini, Sofia Machetti, Rocio Reget, Carlo Barussi, and Liana Oliveira. That is the women's elimination number 4 coming our way. And less than 2 minutes, yellow flag in the sky. And we can start to hear the vibes down here on the beach, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. As already we got the band going, starting to get the tunes and the rhythm down here at our competition site of the Copa Kitley, the Worlds. What a place, what a place, what a paradise for freestyle. We have Taiba, the water sports location for the GWA Kite World Tour. As we have the freestyle twin tip and the strapless freestyle surfing disciplines. Also here with the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. Taiba, definitely the place to be this month. All right, so we are going on as it is time for the girls to fly across the competition area. And let's have a look, because we are just waiting for those flags to start to make some action, as they are, all of them are starting to come towards us, as we are getting ready for elimination number 4 of the women. All right, there it is, there it is. We have a go, go, go. All right, so Madalena Spanu with the Gastra already out there in the front. And she is out there on the cross. I mean, she was on the poison before then. Okay, so she is out there on the cross from Gastra. There we can see Flora Asnier, who needs to end up top 4 if she wants to take this championship home. Battling out Nia Swadias, who has already been going up in the front on most of these races. And Paula Novotna there at the back. Both of the duotone riders rocking out the Alula.
Yeah,
so, who have we got up front? What are those top athletes, mate?
Nia Suarez currently sitting in first position. Paola Novotna on the yellow board in second position. And it's always a battle between those two. Surf-Freestyle, Surf-Slalom, it always seems to be the battle. But let's not forget, we also have Flora Artsner that gets chucked in the mix, who is currently sitting at the top of the rankings coming into this event. So if she wins here, she will be crowned the world champion in Surf Slalom. And what a way that would end her little Brazilian festive season, because she also, Joe, she took the win in the Surf Freestyle.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And I mean, what a win she took. She, you know, everybody was kind of whispering and everybody was kind of saying when they saw her out on the waves that, wow, she was really looking good, but took it to the top riders rankings. Let's not forget, came in third on the overall ranking into this event, and she ended up third on the overall after that win. So great work there from Flores. And let's not forget, marine biologist, and she actually has taken a year off, and in that gap year, she is able to have pulled off a top 3 podium in the sport that she took it off for. I mean, that was definitely a good decision. It's great to see people, you know, kind of get in with their dreams.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting to see actually how now her mindset goes into 2023. Will we see her take another year off? Because next year's tour calendar sure is looking busy. We are starting off in New Zealand next year, so really starting to go overseas.
Yeah, it is. It is looking like we are going to be left, right, center, and all over the planet. But that is why it is a world championship. You've got to touch all of the different spots, all of the different conditions, because we are looking for the best and most complete athletes. And talking about a complete athlete, there she is, the lady of the moment, winning pretty much every single elimination out there at the moment, Nia Suarez.
Yeah, and then Madalena Spanu here, Kylie as well, chasing with that pinky, bluey, Takun wing. You cannot miss that one. So here we have it, making their way through to the next section of the course. Nia Suarez sitting in first place there. Nice and comfortable. Waves are looking nice. But yes, like you say, Joe, the Lula wing, duotone, the new unit, it's been doing the business here during the comp.
It certainly has. It certainly has. And here we can see Flores near there. And there are some waves. Watch out, Madalena Spanu getting some acceleration as she is starting her way through. But as near answering back. But yeah, definitely it is a battle at the moment out there on the water today. I'm going to say it's a battle for second place because Nia is in a world of her own so far.
Yeah, Nia's woken up on the right side of the bed because she is not putting a foot wrong today. Sitting in first position, pink helmet. You cannot miss her here. Coming up towards the back end of this course now, but still a little bit more to go. Oh, that's the pass there. She is in first position. Flora here on the 5.5 F1 strike wing coming in. Looking like she's going to take second position with Madalena Spanu in third.
And there it is, Spanu second position, no, third position, excuse me. Flora definitely put it to her there at the end. Elimination number 4 of the ladies, so that means they are going to be able to have a discard as we continue on. Next up will be the mini final of the men. All right, well, there it is. There it is. Red flag in the sky, meaning that 3 minutes to the start of this mini-final. Julien Boyer, Xavier Cor, Malo Genole, Paolo Migliorini, Chucho Nunot, Alessandro Tomasi, Lilian Juppet, Riccardo Zorzi, Christopher McDonald, Mauro Luis. That is going to be the small final that is going to be starting in about 3 minutes. Already some big names in that one, but unfortunately that is the small final, meaning the bottom 5 of each one of the semis. And then we will have the grand finale after the women's elimination number 5. Matis Gio, Tito Angalea, Ugo Marin, Francesco Capuzzo, Gregorio Pugliese, Oscar Leclerc, Alan Fedit, Tom Hubert, Camille Bouillet, and Nicolas Spanel. That is going to be the final where both Francesco Capuzzo and Camille are going to want to try and steal that one from Tituan if they want to have a chance battling it out tomorrow to see who will become the new Surf-Slalom World Champion. Yellow flag, less than 2 to go on this Saturday afternoon over here in Taiba, Brazil. I mean, what a beautiful location we have here for the event, the final season finale. And you know what better way to finish it off in a beautiful Saturday afternoon with a little bit of a sunset, a couple of cold ones, and some music, as you can hear over here already on the beach. We've got the band ready, we've got them blazing. Liam, I reckon we're going to end off with a little bit of a standoff out there.
Yes, no, a standoff may well be coming our way. We've got some big names in the final, but just before the small final takes place. So, I mean, every name's a big name in this heat. We've got some of the best, well, not some of the best wingfoilers on the planet joining us here at the final stop of our 2022 calendar. So both heats packed with goodness. But yes, like you said, the first one coming up is looking tasty.
Yeah, it certainly is. And just having a little look at the old rankings out there at the moment, just hitting the old refresh just to make sure that these are up to date before I go and say some names. But all right, yeah, so it looks like at the moment we have Tito Angaleo in first, Francesco in second, and Camille in third. So far, Matis Gio is in, Francesco Capuzzo is in the lead. But before we go out to that, let's go mini-final coming our way. Christopher McDonald, Malo Genole, Chucho Lunot. And there we can see Alessandro Tomasi, who is going in on the inside.
Yeah, he's flying start there on that NSYS wing. Alessandro Tomasi didn't actually compete in the Surf-Freestyle either, so he is fresh-legged, raring to go for the Surf Slalom competition. And there we can see an athlete going down on the left-hand side there. One or two of them as well, putting in early turns. Christopher McDonald out in front, looking comfortable. Chucho Nonot out in second on the white north wing. We also have Malo on the black gong and Alessandro Tomasi in fourth position.
Yeah, that is your top 4 out there on the water for this mini final. And now we'll have to see who is going to make it up. There's different tactics out there, different tactics. We see some of the athletes kind of continuing on, going all the way out there on that port tack, making their way a little bit further along, and then before they do the old tack and go starboards. But let's not forget port tack start and a starboard tack finish. Always good to mix it up to make it as fair for all of them. It's a little bit of a downwind in there where they can use the waves. They've got to do the pump, which is kind of the speciality of the Surf Slalom. A little bit of a zigzag here in the middle where you have those jives to be able to mix it up and add some difficulty to the course. But at the moment, those are your top 2 riders and very close to each other.
Very close. Chris there on the F1, Alessandro there on the NSYS wing, and he's just snipped past him now, so taking that first position. Chris won't be having any of that and will for sure want to be reclaiming that first spot there. But going back to the courses themselves, every course can be different, and our judge team here, they see what conditions we have when we've got waves, the pumping tracks. They make it all different all the time, which is really good. So never do the riders know what they're going to get. But right now we join these two front runners when it comes to the pumping track, trying to find a cheeky wave that they can get onto. And it looks like here Alessandro Tomasi has taken the slightly better approach. Chris McDonald there pumping between a few of the locals. There they are, cheering them on.
Yeah, there you can see Chris also out there on a little slightly bigger front wing. He's out on the 630 skate, and it looks like he's on a 4.5, so I reckon he might be a little bit underpowered, but maybe obviously being able to do that because he is on the bigger front wing there on the F1 gear. But it is that man there, Alessandro Tomasi, who also, he is coming, coming from Lago di Garda, and he is actually using a harness. So he's using the wingman, one of the few athletes to use a harness. And it looks like we've got gridlock. Gridlock at that point. Maybe we can see if we can get a replay of what happened there. Alessandro Tomasi, there we can see Sveta all life jacketed up, making sure she gets the shots. But Tomasi is going to be coming in and winning this mini final. Alessandro Tomasi. And oh, Christopher McDonald going down here. And he's going to be overtaken by a Surf-Freestyle World Champ, Malo Genole. And if I'm not mistaken, there in the back, that is going to be Riccardo Zorzi. Oh, Malo just having a little hippity-hop, hippity-hey. Yep, Riccardo Zorzi overtaking Christopher McDonald. And that is your mini-final. Next up, we're going to have the grand final, elimination number 2. Now, this is for all the beans. This is for the magic beans to, get up to the giant and get those golden eggs from the goose. This is what we are looking for. Because let's not forget, Francesco Capuzzo is probably your second best on the overall rankings coming into this contest. He is in second position. He needs to make sure that he ends up in front of Tituan. He needs to win if he wants to take the win on the overall here. And he did not have a good first elimination. So he needs to go out with all pistons firing.
Mattis, Gio, Francesco Capuzzo. It is another battle. And here we see the replay where everything got a little bit sticky. All of the riders there coming off their foils, wings going everywhere, struggling for some power. There we see, I think that there may have been, I'm not quite sure, it would have been Javier Core, I believe, that just sort of fell again. But back now, there we have the love. Look at that, look at the competition area, plenty of action going on. And we can just see, just by that picture, that Brazil is a water sports mecca.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a paradise. And to be able to get away from the cold European conditions this time of the year and just come out here. Life is better in a bikini, and life is certainly better in board shorts, as we are enjoying the beautiful Taiba as we now continue on, as we are going to be starting out very shortly with the grand finale.
Very much excited for the
And it looks like there we can see the athletes already starting off on this final. Mattis Gio, Nicola Spano at the bottom there with the free wing. Getting a little bit up on Mattis Gio there, Nicola Spano. We don't often see Gio not get first on that first turn. If I'm not mistaken, it's looking like Tomo Burr there in third on the duotone, but there it is, there it is. As I am just waiting for confirmation, but I reckon that orange one, yep, there it is. Tituan Galea already starting to make his way out there in front.
Yeah, and just where is Capuzzo as well? It'd be good to know sort of where he is, Jeff. You can see him at the corner of your eye, because another contender. He always has this sort of, though, in the heats, you don't see him right at the start, and then suddenly, bang, there he is, right in the mix.
Yeah, he does make up some ground in the middle part of this course. But at the moment, it is that man, Nicola Spano, who seems to have a little bit of an advantage. But Tituan always does go a little bit further to the right, then comes a little bit further to the left and kind of gets out in front of them. So obviously, you know, strategy is very important to know exactly how much you need to be able to do it. Spaniel turning around first, and this is where they start to join and meet each other. I can just see, all right, Matis Gio turning up, joining the fight. There is Francesco Capuzzo turning around as well. Tituan Galea, Oscar Leclerc. Going to be a close one, but once again, Matis Gio.
Yeah, out in front there, and there it looks like Matis Gio, Nicolas Spanu, and Francesco Capuzzo in third. So there, you know, speaking about Francesco, snipping and sniping out of nowhere. Now the pumping track comes, and Joe, do you remember what happened here last time? Matis Gio, Francesco Capuzzo clashed. Will we see it happen again?
Oh, I don't know, but I mean, let's not forget, there we can see the Orange Devil coming in and floating, pumping by. And once again, Francesco and Gio are very close together. I'll say I am always concerned when I see these two boys together. Matis not being able to make it, and here it is, Francesco Capuzzo. Looking like he is on a bigger wing out there. And the F1 athlete, Tituan Galea, Francesco wants to get this one up on Tituan. He needs it if he wants to have a chance, I reckon, of being able to take the overall championship. But doing very well already there in second position. Francesco following behind. Are we going to see a buzzer beater? We will have to find out who is going to be getting to the finish line.
Tituan, super consistent here, out in first place. I reckon Matis there, Joe, mentally it sort of got to him. But Tituan passes the finish line, takes first position. Capuzzo out in second, probably slightly disappointed with himself for not being able to snip that first position. But right now, Matis coming through in third. And fourth and fifth, I can't quite see there. What do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah, that was a close one in between Spanu and Ferit. We'll have to leave that one down to the photo finish. But once again, the final Surf-Slalom here of the men's elimination. Once again, it was Tituan Galea, 2 for 2. He is on top of the overall ranking. Francesco Capuzzo getting second there, so he's going to be happy with that. Because let's not forget, he is also pushing forwards. Let's see how the overall is going to be, because next up we will have elimination number 6 of the women. And just look at those views. The beautiful Taiba here. A little bit further to the right. The spot, one of the best acai places on the north coast of Brazil, where you can just enjoy the views while you're having that power food. The purple berry, well known out here in Brazil. Add some granola, add some fruit, and you are ready to go. I tell you what, that is Asterix secret sauce. I can tell you that. That stuff gets you going for the whole afternoon. And 1 minute to go here. Elimination number 6 of the women. Yellow flag in the sky. Less than 2 minutes. And the ladies getting ready to go, getting ready to rumble as we come in for the second to last elimination for them. So let's have a look, see how they are going to be doing, making their way through. All right, here we go. Green flag in the sky. Magdalena Spanu, Flora Asner. And I can see it there already. Bowen van der Linden also making her way and pushing forward.
Looks like she's got another one of those mode wings, Joe, because yesterday put an absolute slice from leading edge to trailing edge during her final heat in the Surf-Freestyle. So well equipped, but yes, out in front there on the left we have Kitley, but in the Takun wing, and in first position looks like Nia Suarez.
Yes, it is Nia Suarez, and you can see third we've got Paula Novotna, Flora Asner, Nicola Spanu, Roberta Suini, Bowen van der Linden, and Rocio Reljert from Argentina. Reljert, excuse me. That is your top athletes out there at the moment. Elimination number 6 of the women. As we continue on, because after this we will have the South American men one more time. And the final heat of the day will be elimination number 7 of the women. But this lady there, talk about a clean sweep. Nia Suarez really putting on the medal, having rocket fuel under her feet, and it looks like that girl had gasoline for blood.
Yeah, she's been flying from start to finish, and our media team were quite fortunate enough to catch up with her before the Surf-Slalom action got underway, and there was a little video of Nia saying that she is still super duper determined to perform and do as best as she can in the Surf-Slalom heats. She's one of those competitors and athletes that even at such a young age wants to take it to everyone in the fleet. And of course now you can see that she's currently sitting in a comfortable first position out there, front and center on your screen there as well. Kitley goes down, so needs to get up, and right on our screens again, Nia Suarez in full flow.
Yeah, she really is pushing this young Spaniard. And behind her, that is going to be Flora Asner. Let's not forget, Flora ends up top 4. She is going to be the World Surf Slalom champ. And I know Nia is going to want to try and make that as hard as possible, because let's not forget, Nia is world champion. If she wins here, which at the moment she is definitely up for that, and Flora ends up 5th. Haven't done the math yet. Florida has not had the best finishes on a lot of the eliminations. We will have to see coming into day number 2 tomorrow, the final day here of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour stop in Taiba, Brazil, where we will see the finals of the Surf-Slalom, and also rumors of a little downwind are going to be happening as well as an exhibition. Nothing but action out there on the water, but at the moment that young lady is unstoppable here today.
Yeah, flying, and look at that, plenty of surfers, so clearly some lovely waves for everyone to make the most of here. And now Paula Novotna on your screen chasing Nia Suarez, but Nia looks like she's a little bit far ahead for Paula to do anything. But look, plenty of speed. You can see there Paula riding one of the new boards that Fnatic have dropped. Nia going round elegantly around that boy there. Let's see if Paula is in the shot. There she comes. So gaining a little bit of ground on Nia, but still, you know, I think it's a little bit of work to do. I can't see Nia coming off.
No, it doesn't. But, I mean, that is the closest we've actually seen an athlete come to Nia in the whole elimination so far. So, yeah, good. It looks like Paula's starting to get into the groove. Has she got into the groove a little bit too late, or is she going to be able to make up some of that? One more elimination of the ladies left, as we now have the South American men, and then the last elimination of the day with the women. Stay with us as some more surf slalom action coming your way. All right, so there we can see red flag, 3 minutes to go. And we will be starting off with the South American men. 3 minutes to go. South American men will be coming out there onto your screen as the second to last final heat of the day. Day number 4 here of competition in Taiba on the north coast of Brazil. And we have had some great surf slalom races. More action out there tomorrow. And do not forget, if you are wanting to know some information on the gear, on the athletes, on the formats, on anything, just give us a shout on the old comments on the old stream. We were trying to answer that as much as possible. I tried to get as much information on the equipment that I could down there this morning. So obviously, if you have any more questions or just want to say hi, feel free to hit those in the comments. We definitely enjoy talking to all of you back home. And I hope everybody has been enjoying a full day of surf slalom here for the final event at season finale GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. All right, there it is. Green flag up in the air. So there we have once again Vinicius Martins on the Cabrina pushing forward. And here we have Masakato Dudu also pushing through. But it ain't about how you start, it's how you finish. So let's see who are going to be the top athletes out there as we continue on. And I can hear that band is getting very nicely and excited.
So here we have a nice shot here of the Wingfoilers in this race. So we can see there plenty of riders in this heat. This is the South American Championship one here. So as well as running the World Cup event, we are also getting fully involved with the South American Championships, where we will be crowning our race champion for the local guys here. And in front at the moment, we can see Vinicius Martins on that Cabrina wing on the left-hand side that has just gone out of our shot. A couple of duotone wings here, also flying F1 strike at the back there. Once we zoom in a little bit more, we'll be able to identify who these riders are.
Yeah, you can really see them starting to make their way up. The best of the best athletes out there from South America. We can see Dudu, we can see Vinicius Martins, and who are going to be the ones that get up to the top, we will have to find out. All right, so it looks like the duotone athlete has the upper hand out there in this one. Cameraman, let's see if we can zoom in on the duotone to see his number, as I'm pretty sure it's Dudu Masakato, but we want to double confirm this. So, cameraman, let's see if we can get a zoom in to see if that is so. All right, so if it is number 161, it would be Dudu, and I think it is. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think it is. Unfortunately, information has not been passed to us, so if it isn't, we do apologize to you, Mr. Duotone, but I'm going to think it is Dudu Masakato, and there is a wave. So yes, it is Dudu Masakato as they both come down. Vinicius Martins, these guys were battling it out before. All right, so the battle for first and seconds. Yeah, oh, this is what we want to see. They are smoking across the competition area.
Yeah, off they go. You can see them now. Vinicius changing his feet early, switching to toe side just before he gets in. He's going to whip round that boy with ease, and I reckon he's going to come and take the inside, which he has certainly done very well, pumping around like no tomorrow. But hang on a minute. Dudu goes up a gear, and I reckon it's going to go a little bit wide. But, oh, he nearly breaches. Does he hold it together? He has.
He has held it together, but he has definitely must have lost some speed as he continues on. And there it is. Is it going to be? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Vinicius Martins is the winner on that one. What a good battle. That is what we wanted to see. And here we go. Here we go. As coming up next, we have the final heat of the afternoon, women's elimination number 7, excuse me, and congratulations there to Vinicius Martins.
Okay, so yellow flag in the air has just gone up. So, last final heat of the day. What a day it has been on day 5 of the Copa Kitley GWA Wingfoil World Cup here in Taiba Beach, Brazil. What a location, what a spot. Brazil blows constantly with wind this time of year. It's really nice. We're getting pretty much every day 15 to sort of 16, 17 knots. Gusting up to sort of the 20 during the Surf-Freestyle competition. We were treated to some real special days, and you can see on this shot at the moment that we've got quite a few of our kite surf athletes using this time and using the conditions for some training, because next week we have another kite surf event where again we'll be crowning a world champion. Can James Carew hold on for another tour win and another world championship, claiming his 2nd? But before that happens next week, we join the final heat as the green flag goes up.
And there it is one more time. So last heat of the day, looks like Flora Asner has had a better start out there. Oh, I can see some of them go down. Watch out, Paola Novotny. I told you she had her stuff back together because she is overtaking and going on the inside. This is what we want to finish it off with. A race until the end, and it looks like these girls mean business. There must be some big points up there, because let's not forget, Flora Asner and Nia Swadia still have options of being world champion. Flora, the easier option, she needs to be top 4. Nia needs to win, and for Flora to be 5th if she wants to have a chance.
Yeah, your top 3. Paola Novotny at the moment sitting in 1st position. Flora Artsner in the 2nd position. Nia Suarez in 3rd. And this is where the course gets interesting, when they put in this turn, because some of them do it early, some of them do it late. We've seen Tituan in the men. He loves to go late. And all of a sudden, shebang, he comes in the shot and pretty much has a nice sort of performance in one of the top positions. But on your screen now, Paola Novotná looking slightly underpowered there a little bit, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe she's just waiting for the gust to come, but right now it's an open playing field.
Yes, it is. I mean, she's out there on an 800 foil. She's on one of the bigger foils, so obviously when she can actually go out on a smaller kite, a smaller wing if she wants to. But we will have to see what happens, because they have to make their way up as they are getting up to that top win mark. We will have to see, and who is going to be making their way through, we will soon find out. But as it comes out there on the water, it does look like one more time at Nia Suarez. So they are going up to try and get to buoy number 2. And then they have a little wrap around where they have that pumping track in between 3 and 4. Down to 5, around at 6. And it is finishing game. So there it is, a lot of distance. Once again, Nia Suarez, not the best start, but she definitely is. It isn't how you start, it how you finish. And she is throwing down out there.
Yeah, absolutely nailing it once again. She's pretty much got this course dialed down to an absolute T, because out in 3rd position, it looked like Paola Novotná actually had a very, very, very strong start. But then, you know, once the jibes and the tacks came in, it was an open playing field. And now Nia Suarez on the pumping track there, not quite fully letting go there. But maybe it's just a bit of a lack in the wind. There we go. The other hand comes off, powering herself back up again as she comes out of the pumping track. But you can see there some of the ladies needing a bit more power during that pumping track.
Yeah, you can see it is quite light out there. And Flora Asner there in 2nd position. But look at Paola. This is when she accelerates. Look how she starts to speed, flying out. But Nia Suarez has, I'm going to call it, about a 30 to 40 meter separation in between the two. Let's have a look. Just going past this buoy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About a 7 seconds difference from that buoy number 5. Nia Suarez definitely is going to be claiming this one unless she gets hit by a tight rope before the end. Nope, there it is. Nia Suarez, without a doubt, in 1st position on the overall today, as she has won elimination after elimination out there on the water. 2nd position is going to be Paola Novotná, and 3rd position, Flora Asner. What a day of surf slalom we have had. Incredible work by all of these athletes. And that is going to be it for today, as we can also see here, Orancelis and Magdalena Spano, Kylie Malouf there starting to make their way through. Incredible day of action out here for the surf slalom, as we have just seen the final heat of the day. Tomorrow we will be continuing on bright and early, where we will see some more surf slalom. And already it does look like Titouan Galea and Nia Suarez on top of the overall ranking for the surf slalom of this event.
Yes, that's it. It's going to be a great last day, final day of the Wingfoiling World Cup here in Taiba, Brazil. But for now, we've had a really solid day of competition. The sun is starting to set, and we are now saying goodbye. And we will catch you all again on the stream on our channels tomorrow.
Yeah, goodbye everybody. See you tomorrow for some more surf slalom action. GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. Thank you for tuning in.